Chapter 841. It's the kid's birthday. Benjamin glanced at her. Orissa keyed in the numbers, but the password was incorrect. She tried again with their complete birth date, including the year, but she still couldn't unlock his phone. It's still wrong. She frowned. Did you remember the wrong date? Benjamin took his phone and keyed in the password, and his phone was unlocked. Orissa was shocked. It's a day apart. The date he keyed in was a day before the one she keyed in earlier. Benjamin looked confused. Why is it different? Orissa blinked, feeling a little puzzled. Did Donna tell you the wrong date? Benjamin thought that was possible too. Suddenly, Orissa slapped her thighs as she remembered something. I remember now. I gave birth at midnight, so Gavin and Tim were born before midnight, and Zachary, Oliver, Jasper, and Jesse were born after midnight. Though she was in a daze back then, she managed to check the clock and remember the time. Benjamin's eyebrows twitched as he asked, the kids have different birthdays. She smiled. Yeah, seems so. Benjamin's thin lips curled up slightly. She took his phone from him and said, you should get back to work. I'll do it. After she found the photo and saved it on her phone, she set it as her wallpaper. Meanwhile, she set the kids' group photo as the screensaver. Seeing that, she smiled in response. Set it up for me, too, he said, leaning over to look at her screensaver. She grinned and browsed through his photo album. There weren't many photos on his phone. The only ones on his phone were a few family photos of her and the kids and a few pictures of Gavin's everyday life. Besides those, there were also a few photos of Gavin when he was tiny. Not a year was missed, so Orissa could clearly see Gavin's growth. She enjoyed looking at the photos. After some time of browsing through the photos, she finally set Benjamin's screensaver. Suddenly, Kingsley called. She hurriedly handed the phone over to Benjamin. It's Mr. Watts. Just reject it, he replied without even looking at his phone. Amused by his reaction, Orissa said, maybe it's something important. He glanced at her in response and answered the call. After that, he walked out of the ward to talk to Kingsley. Kingsley's voice traveled from the other end of the line almost immediately. Benjamin, you're married now. That's so sudden. Congratulations. Benjamin merely responded, yeah. Anything else? Seriously, is that really how you react? This is important. I couldn't believe it when I heard it from Sean earlier. Kingsley still hadn't recovered from the shock. Benjamin raised his brows. What's unbelievable about that? We've already gotten our marriage certificate. Whoa, look at you, Benjamin. You're really fast. Why didn't you announce it last night when we were at your place? Are you trying to keep your marriage a secret? Kingsley teased. We only decided it late at night. I'll hang up now if there's nothing else, Benjamin replied and was about to hang up. Come on, man. You just got married today. Shouldn't you hold a banquet and invite us for a meal? I'll let everyone know. Benjamin thought about it and agreed. Sure, I'll leave it to you to invite them. Let's eat at night. I'm not free during lunch. Okay, Kingsley replied immediately. No problem. I have all the time in the world. Suddenly, he asked, oh right. I heard Madam Mary had an operation. Is she feeling better? Benjamin responded, she's still unconscious. I'm busy, so I'll hang up now. Okay, bye. Kingsley chuckled, seemingly in a good mood. Benjamin walked back into the ward with his phone in his hand and saw that Orissa was tidying up the place. Come sit with me. She glanced at him. I'm almost done tidying. He placed his phone at the side and said, here. You can look at the photos if you want later. I'll continue with my work now. Okay, she responded while smiling. Since Mary still hadn't woken up yet, and Orissa had nothing to do, the latter decided to tidy things up a little. Chapter 842. It was almost noon when a housekeeper from Old Manor brought Orissa and Benjamin some nutritious soup and lunch. Mr. and Mrs. Graham, old Mr. Graham asked me to send you these. You should eat them while they're still hot. Thanks. Orissa took the food from the housekeeper. This is for Madam Mary, the housekeeper said and placed another soup container at the side. Orissa thanked her. Okay, thank you. Millie, you should go back now. Mrs. Graham, Old Mr. Graham sent me here to take care of Madam Mary, Millie, the housekeeper reported. We already have a caregiver here. Orissa was surprised. We don't need so many people to take care of Grandaunt since this hospital belongs to Benjamin, and the doctors and nurses here also take good care of Grandaunt. It'll be easier for you, and you don't have to be so tired when one more person is here to help out, Millie explained. Benjamin asked Orissa to sit down and have lunch before instructing Millie to wait outside the ward. Orissa sat down and uncovered the lunch boxes. Wow, they looked delicious. She leaned over and took a deep whiff of the food's aroma. Old Mr. Graham's really nice. Benjamin chuckled lightly and reminded her, "You're still calling him Old Mr. Graham." She thought about it and glanced at him. Hee, old habits die hard. He took a meatball and fed it to her. Try this. She took a bite and smiled in delight. Yummy. Benjamin ate one and felt that it tasted average. Why is everything delicious to you? That's because I'm not a picky eater, she replied. Words eluded Benjamin. Orissa laughed at his expression. Maybe you're already used to the taste, so it's not so delicious anymore. Me, on the contrary, think it's delicious since I don't eat it that much. He raised his brows. That makes sense. Orissa giggled. Thanks for your compliment, Graham. He glanced at her beaming face with an affectionate look in his eyes. Call me, darling. She stared at him in bewilderment, and her face flushed red the moment she met his abyss-like eyes. Let's eat. She lowered her head and started eating again. Benjamin's lips curled slightly when he saw her blush. Then, he pinched her ear domineeringly and demanded, Call me, darling, from now on. The corners of Orissa's mouth twitched. Isn't this a little cheesy? She turned to look at him. Then, what will you call me? As he gazed at her, his charming eyes were like a swirling whirlpool that could pull one in. Orissa's heart started racing as if a rabbit was hopping around inside her chest. She quickly looked away and said in a low voice, Why are you looking at me like that? So what do you plan to call me? A doting look flashed across his eyes. This woman is adorable. Have some of this, honey. With that, he put a piece of steak on her plate. Orissa laughed happily. Thank you, darling. Her sweet voice brought a smile to his face. Say it again. Orissa pursed her lips and said coquettishly, No. Benjamin arched a brow and touched his nose sheepishly. Edwin smiled when he overheard their conversation. Are you having lunch, Mr. Graham and Mrs. Graham? The woman was frightened. Edwin, when did you get here? I've been here for a while now. I didn't want to interrupt you too, he said while placing the food he had brought on the coffee table. She was completely embarrassed, and she got even more frustrated when she saw how calm Benjamin looked. He's so shameless. Did he already know Edwin was here? Benjamin turned to stare at Orissa intently. I didn't know Edwin was here, too. Hurry up and eat. Orissa responded with a snort. Edwin laughed. It's normal for you to call each other, darling, and, honey, since you're already married. Don't be embarrassed, Mrs. Graham. I can understand. Orissa laughed awkwardly. Are these from Old Manor? Edwin asked as he looked at what Benjamin and Orissa were eating. That's right. How do you know? She wondered. Edwin chuckled. I'm very familiar with the food there. I can tell by just smelling it. Besides, Millie is outside. She's from Old Manor, right? Orissa asked Edwin to have a seat. Chapter 843. Please enjoy your food, Mrs. Graham. Don't mind me, Edwin said as he placed the food he had brought on the coffee table. Edwin, there's so much food. We can't finish all of this. Orissa said while smiling. Should I give some to Mr. Bailey, then? Edwin asked while looking at Benjamin. After Benjamin nodded at him, Edwin quickly took some food for Sean. You two should continue eating. Edwin knew that he should give them some space. Orissa was stunned by how quickly Edwin left the room. What are you staring into space for? Eat up, Benjamin reminded in a gentle voice after he looked at the dumbfounded Orissa. After she regained her senses, she sat down and continued eating. As she ate, she muttered, Why was Edwin scrambling out of the room? Benjamin glanced at her. He doesn't want to disturb us. Orissa felt awkward after she glanced at him and saw his smiling eyes. Then, She averted her eyes away from him and quickly dug in. Their first meal together after being officially married was in a hospital. Despite being in the hospital, it was still heartwarming. Benjamin would place some food on Marissa's plate occasionally, and she did the same. Benjamin, who used to think food taken by others was unsanitary, didn't mind it at all when Marissa put some food on his plate. He was in an excellent mood, given how happy he enjoyed the food. The couple was almost full when Kingsley reached the hospital in a hurry. However, there was still a lot of food left. He looked at Benjamin and Marissa before teasing them, "That's so much food. How dare you two hide in the hospital and enjoy such a feast?" Benjamin furrowed his brows a little as he glared at Kingsley. "Why are you here?" Kingsley glanced at Benjamin and chuckled. "I'm here to visit Madame Mary." Benjamin looked at Kingsley, who didn't bring anything. "You're planning to visit Grandaunt empty-handed?" Instead of visiting Mary, it seemed like Kingsley was there to see Benjamin and Marissa. Kingsley laughed out loud, brushing off his friend's disapproving look. "Ha ha, I forgot. I'll bring something for her next time." Marissa chuckled. "Millie from Old Manor and Edwin brought these. Mr. Watts, you can have some if you haven't eaten. That is, if you don't mind." The next moment, he sat down, took a fork, and started eating. "Not at all. This tastes really good. Is this a congratulatory feast by Edwin and the rest from Old Manor?" Marissa just smiled wordlessly. "Why are you still talking so much when your mouth's stuffed with food? Focus on eating, would you? Grandaunt's still sleeping," Benjamin warned. Instantly, Kingsley zipped his mouth and ate. However, he kept glancing between Mary and the couple. They're really a match made in heaven. Benjamin's handsome, and Marissa's so beautiful. They're so fine. Wait, that's not the right word for it. Ah, they are the perfect couple. What an extraordinary view. The sight of the two of them sitting together is truly pleasing to the eyes. Kingsley kept staring at Benjamin and Marissa without blinking. Marissa noticed his stare and thought it was funny. "Why are you staring at us like that?" Kingsley chuckled and sneaked a glance at Benjamin. Benjamin, on the other hand, glared at Kingsley. "Why is this guy so annoying? Kingsley, if you want to eat, eat quietly. Why are you looking here and there?" he warned in a low voice. Kingsley swallowed the food he was chewing and replied, "Boss, I just thought that you and Marissa look perfect together. The two of you are such a gorgeous couple that I can't stop myself from looking. Are you going to get jealous over this too?" "HMPH. Just eat," Benjamin scoffed. He wasn't angry at all. On the contrary, he was delighted. "Okay." Kingsley nodded and finally focused on eating. Then, Benjamin passed a bowl of soup to Marissa. "Here, drink this." She glanced at it. "That's too much. I can't finish it." "Drink it slowly." He shot her a meaningful glance. It was obvious that he wasn't taking no for an answer. She laughed as she took the bowl and started drinking. At that moment, Mary woke up. Chapter 844. Marissa was about to put her bowl of soup down to check on Mary, but Benjamin stopped her. "Sit, I'll go." He walked over to the side of the bed and said in a gentle, caring voice, "Grandaunt, are you feeling okay?" "Just a little tired," Mary replied with a smile after she saw them in her ward. Her waist didn't hurt anymore after the surgery. Marissa approached her and said as she leaned forward, "Grandaunt, would you like to eat something before you continue sleeping?" Grinning, Mary replied as she gestured for them to carry on eating. "It's all right. You should continue eating. I'll rest for a while longer." She had just woken up, so she didn't have much appetite. Marissa nodded and tucked Mary's blanket. Meanwhile, Benjamin pressed the call button to get a doctor to check on Mary. Kingsley walked over to Mary and greeted her too. The old woman was touched that everyone was there to visit her. "Don't worry about me, I'm fine. Eat." Marissa smiled. "We're already full. When you were in the operation room, old Mr. Graham and the others came to visit, and they even prepared some soup for you after they went home. You should drink some later." Old Mr. Graham came too. Mary didn't know what to say. She was really touched because they were too kind to her. "Yeah, he came with William." Marissa observed Mary and thought the latter's complexion looked much better than before. At that time, Sean had arrived with a few other specialists, and Edwin followed behind them. Benjamin pulled Orissa over to the side so that the doctors could check on Mary. After some time, Sean announced, "Madam Mary's condition is very stable. She can eat something later but not too much. Once she gets hungry again, she can eat a little more." "Got it. Thank you," Orissa answered and thanked the doctors with a smile. "You're welcome, Mrs. Graham. Please get more rest, Madam Mary," the doctor said before turning to leave. Sean looked at them. "I'm going back to continue my meal." He hadn't finished his meal yet. "Okay," Benjamin nodded. "I'll come with you." Immediately, Kingsley took some food and chased after Sean. Everyone laughed at the scene. Orissa adjusted the angle of the hospital bed, and Edwin helped too. "Edwin, you should go back. I can do this myself." Since Orissa was there, she could handle it herself. "Okay." Edwin put a small table on the bed before he turned to tidy up the tableware on the coffee table. At the same time, Benjamin took the soup container and poured a bowl of soup for Mary before placing it on the small table. "Grandaunt, have some soup first." Mary nodded and looked at them. "Okay, sure. You two should carry on with your work. I'm okay now. You don't have to watch over me now. Besides, the caregiver is here too, so you don't have to worry about me." Orissa blew on the soup to cool it off before feeding Mary some. "No, Grandaunt, I'm staying here today to keep you company. I'll go back to work once you've recovered even more." "Ah, what do I do about you?" she said to Orissa while shaking her head. After that, she turned to Benjamin and continued, "Benjamin, you should get back to work." Benjamin nodded. "Okay, I'm going back to the office a while later. Don't worry about us, Grandaunt. Have some soup." Edwin walked over to them after tidying up the coffee table and said to Orissa, who was feeding Mary, "Mrs. Graham, I'll do it. You should rest." No, I'll do it myself." "Edwin, you should go back and have your lunch," Orissa insisted while smiling, refusing to let him help. "Edwin hasn't eaten yet." "Edwin, why don't you eat together with me? I can't finish all these by myself either," Mary said, a little embarrassed. "It's okay. Don't worry about me. I already ate something before coming here. I'll eat when I get back. The help from Old Manor specially made this soup for you, so you should drink more. It helps to energize your body. If you can't finish it in one go, you can keep it in the thermal container and drink it later in the afternoon or night," Edwin said warmly. Chapter 845. Mary nodded and told Orissa, "Please thank old Mr. Graham on my behalf. He didn't have to do that." "Don't worry, I'll pass on your gratitude to him," Orissa assured Mary and continued feeding her the soup. "Edwin, remind the housekeeper from the old manor to take care of Grandaunt. Let her know what she needs to pay attention to," Benjamin instructed Edwin. Edwin nodded in acknowledgement. He took the empty lunchbox and bade goodbye to Mary and Orissa. Outside, he relayed Benjamin's order to the housekeeper before returning to Yaleview. Benjamin waited until Mary finished her meal and returned to her bed. It was then time for him to return to his company. "Come downstairs with me." Orissa shot him a puzzled look. Assuming he had something to tell her, she hurriedly went after him. Benjamin took her hand and led her to the elevator. "Do you have something to tell me?" Orissa turned and gazed at his handsome face. Benjamin whirled around to look at her. His lips curved as he grunted in affirmation. He bore a solemn expression. After they stepped into the elevator, before the doors could slide shut, Benjamin pinned her against the wall and covered her lips in a devouring kiss. Orissa's cheeks turned pink from his superior skills. Benjamin only released her when she was about to suffocate. The elevator arrived on the first floor, and the doors opened automatically. Orissa was still in a daze when Benjamin wrapped his arm around her shoulders and led her out. Fortunately, they were at a private hospital that wasn't crowded at noon. Otherwise, someone else would have caught them in an embarrassing position. At the entrance, she finally regained her composure and asked, "What is this about?" A hint of amusement flashed across Benjamin's eyes. He pinched her cheek affectionately and said, "I want you to send me off." Orissa was stunned beyond words. "I shall head to work now. Give me a call if anything crops up." Benjamin ruffled her hair fondly before heading toward his car. "Okay." Marissa watched as he got into the car. She felt reluctant to part with him. Desire surged within Benjamin as he waved at her. Come here. Not knowing what he was up to, Marissa inched nearer to him. Benjamin dragged her into his car and slammed the door shut. The next second, Marissa was pinned to the seat by Benjamin as he kissed her hungrily. Over 10 minutes later, Benjamin finally released her. His voice was hoarse but seductive as he asked, "Will you come to the company with me?" Marissa felt her heart skip a beat as a flush crept up her cheeks. "I should stay here to keep Grandaunt company. Mary had just had her surgery this morning. She was worried that the elderly lady would think too much if she were to head to work instead of keeping her company." Okay. Benjamin didn't insist. He only asked her if she wanted to head to the company so she could get some rest. "If Grandaunt falls asleep, you should also get some rest. Don't overwork yourself. You should head upstairs now." "All right." Marissa glanced at him. "Bye." After bidding him goodbye, Marissa made to leave. Arching a brow, he reached out and pulled her back into his lap. "That's it." Marissa was taken aback. "What are you talking about?" Benjamin furrowed his brows. "Did you forget how you usually bid goodbye to the kids?" Embarrassment inundated Marissa as her cheeks flushed a crimson red. She grumbled coyly, "Didn't you already take advantage of me earlier?" Benjamin's gaze was deep and seductive. "I took advantage of you. Why did it seem like you were enjoying it, too?" "Stop teasing me," Marissa chided. She shoved his hand away to get off the car. "I want a proper goodbye," Benjamin insisted. Rendered speechless by the man's antics, Marissa pouted her lips in his direction. Mwah! A blush crept up Marissa's neck when she met his eyes, which crinkled with joy. Pushing him away, she crawled out of his lap and dashed out of the vehicle. Benjamin's low chuckle sounded behind her. Marissa felt her ears going numb. Why is his voice lethally dulcet? Even his teasing chuckles sound extremely attractive. She turned over her shoulder and shot him a glare. Chapter 846. Get back to work. Slam. Marissa shut the door forcefully. She was too embarrassed and avoided eye contact with the bodyguard. With her head hung low, she scurried into the lobby of the hospital. Benjamin watched as she fled the scene. A low chuckle rumbled in his throat. Glancing at the bodyguard waiting beside the car, he ordered, "Let's go." The bodyguard got into the driver's seat and drove Benjamin to the company. Marissa ran all the way back to the ward, and her racing heart finally calmed down. "Mrs. Graham, why are you blushing? Did you do something bad?" Kingsley stuck his head out and shot her an inquisitive look as his eyes crinkled up. Marissa gave a start. "Why are you still here?" Both Kingsley and Sean, who was walking over to them, burst out laughing. "Marissa wants to know why you're still here," Sean teased him. He then entered the ward to do his rounds. "I was in his office earlier." "Has Benjamin left?" Kingsley glanced around. "Yep, he went to work," Marissa told him after she regained her composure. Kingsley observed her carefully and noticed that her lips were a little swollen. He shot her a knowing look. "Did you send him off?" "Yes." Feeling embarrassed, Marissa hurried into the ward to see Sean examining Mary. Kingsley grinned and entered the ward after her. However, he excused himself not long after. "Marissa, Madam Mary is doing well. Don't worry, you should get some sleep. I need to head back to my office now," Sean told Marissa. "Oh, thank you," Marissa nodded. After Sean left, she lay on the couch to get some shut-eye. She had just slept slightly over 10 minutes when her phone vibrated. Marissa jolted awake and quickly answered the call. "Hello, were you sleeping?" Benjamin's mellow voice sounded at the other end of the line. "Yeah." Marissa's lips curled. "You woke me up." Benjamin's laughter sounded over the line. "You should go back to sleep after I hang up. I forgot to tell you that we're heading out for dinner tonight." Marissa froze. "Is it a business-related social event?" "It's Kingsley. He wants me to treat them all to dinner," Benjamin explained. "Oh, all right then," Marissa agreed readily. "Can we bring the kids, too?" Benjamin let out a low chuckle. "She never forgets about the kids, huh? Sure. I'll pick you up at the hospital after work." "Okay," Marissa answered. "Sleep," Benjamin said and waited for her to hang up. As he didn't hang up, Marissa asked, "Is there anything else?" Nothing. Ethan had entered his office, so Benjamin had to hang up. Mr. Graham, everyone is here. We can start the meeting now. Ethan reported. Benjamin inclined his head and got up to join the rest. Orissa had just placed her phone aside when Gavin's call arrived. She rose to her feet and answered the call at the balcony. Mommy. Hey, sweetheart. What's wrong? Do you miss me? Orissa asked gently. Gavin's shy giggle sounded over the line. Jesse and Jasper inched closer to him and called out, Mommy. Mommy, Tim misses you, too. Oliver chimed in. Orissa beamed. I miss you all, too. Tim, do you miss your great-grandaunt? After the surgery ended, Mary woke up and took a few bites of food before falling asleep. Thus, she forgot to inform the kids. Orissa said in an apologetic tone, Sweetheart, I forgot to tell great-grandaunt to give you a call. I'm sorry. It's fine, Tim chirped. He didn't blame her. Orissa glanced at her watch. Are they all up? Did you wake up from your afternoon nap? Yes. 5 kids chorused except for Zachary. Sweethearts, where is Zachary? What is he doing? Chapter 847. Mommy, Zachary is in the toilet. Gavin reported. Oh, I see. Orissa's lips curved into a smile. She missed the kids, too. Sweethearts, I'll hang up and video call you. Sure. Excited, the kids hung up swiftly. Before Orissa could video call them, they video called her instead. She quickly answered the call, and the kids' faces appeared on the screen. The 5 of them beamed at her. Mommy, Miss York. Orissa's heart softened when she heard their adorable voices. Hey, she greeted them happily. Have you washed your faces? Mommy, we have washed our faces. Jasper answered swiftly. She glanced at the other kids, who nodded in unison. Let me show you great-grandaunt. She's still sleeping. The kids nodded earnestly. Orissa went into the ward with her phone and showed them a sleeping Mary. After seeing Mary asleep, the kids were relieved. Orissa then returned to the balcony. Sweethearts, drink some warm water and eat some snacks. Do you still have food? The kids bobbed their heads. Yes. Hurry, get something to eat. You have class soon. After school ends, I'll bring you to the hospital, Orissa told them. Mommy, you don't have to go to work today. Gavin's eyes lit up. Orissa nodded. Yes, I don't have to work today. Is Daddy at the company? Yes, he's at the company. Mommy, why didn't you go to work today? Did Mr. Graham give you a day off? Oliver asked cheekily. Yes, he gave me a day off so I don't have to work today. Orissa grinned. Jess's eyes crinkled up in delight. That means Mommy has time to play with us. Orissa touched Jess's face on her phone screen. I'm free today. Jessie couldn't hide her delight. Mommy, have you had lunch? Jasper asked after squeezing his way between his siblings. Yes, I've also taken a nap, Orissa responded. Miss York, have you been keeping great-grandaunt company in the hospital all the while? Tim questioned. Yes, I've been here all the while. I have some free time today and decided to keep great-grandaunt company. Orissa's eyes were glued on the kids' adorable faces, and she couldn't look away. Is Zachary still inside the bathroom? Mommy, I'll go get him. Jessie ran to the bathroom and banged on the door. Zachary, Mommy wants to talk to you. Orissa was amused. If he's pooping, let him be. Stop urging him. Jasper giggled. Mommy, Zachary is pooping. I smelled something awful. Orissa was tickled. Didn't he open the window? Yes. I think Zachary hasn't pooped for a few days, Oliver reported. How many days? Orissa paused before asking. Why didn't he tell me about it? You need to poop at least once a day. What about the rest? Did you poop every day? Orissa felt guilty as she had recently neglected the kids. Yes. Gavin nodded profusely. Oliver and Jasper nodded, too. What about you, Tim? Me too. Tim's cheeks turned pink. Orissa raised a brow. Are you sure? The boy had just left Rudisii village, so she was worried that he couldn't get used to things here. Yes. I used the restroom in great-grandaunt's ward. Orissa was surprised. We have bathrooms in our house. Did you poop in the ward every day? Tim flushed. I'm not used to sitting down. Orissa nearly lost her composure. She touched her nose and assured him, Sweetheart, you'll get used to it soon. You need to get used to it. Back then, I couldn't get used to sitting on the toilet bowl just like you. If you avoid it, you won't get used to it, ever. The bathrooms at home were equipped with toilet bowls. Every time Tim entered the bathroom, he would spend some time inside. Thus, she thought he had gotten used to it. Okay, Tim bobbed his head. I don't like it, either. I don't feel like pooping when I sit down, Jasper said as his lips twitched. Orissa was both amused and exasperated at their exchange. Why did he suddenly say that? Chapter 848. Mommy, Zachary is done. Jessie ran back to her. A while later, Zachary squeezed in and greeted Orissa cheerfully, Mommy. Hey, were you in the bathroom? Orissa's lips curled. Yeah, Zachary seemed embarrassed. Orissa smiled. How did it go? Do you have constipation? She asked worriedly. A bit. Zachary chuckled wryly. He then changed the topic. Mommy, are you at the hospital? Yes. Drink more water. Everyone, drink more water, okay. Remember to eat more vegetables. If you cannot poop for the whole day, let me know. Don't hold it in, Orissa reminded them. Got it, Mommy. Got it, Miss York. A smile flitted across Orissa's lips when she heard their answer. Good. Go drink some water and eat something. You have class soon. I'll pick you up after school ends later. Okay. The kids chorused and dispersed to find their snacks. Bye, Mommy, Gavin said. The other 5 kids also bid Orissa goodbye. Bye, sweethearts. Orissa responded sweetly before she hung up. She chuckled lowly at the balcony and returned to the ward. Mary was still asleep, so she fished her phone out and replied to some emails. The housekeeper and caregiver entered the ward to clean up quietly so they wouldn't disturb Mary and Orissa. An hour later, Mary roused. Isa. Orissa put away her phone and hurried over to Mary. Grandaunt, you're up. How are you feeling? I'm fine, so calm down, Mary assured her. Didn't you get some rest? I did. Orissa helped her to sit up in bed and got a warm towel to wipe her face. Mary felt more energized now. My body is aching after lying down for too long. I shall get out of bed to go to the restroom. Mary said. Grandaunt, be careful. Orissa helped her up carefully. Okay. Orissa waited outside the restroom until Mary finished her business and helped her back to bed. Grandaunt, after you finish the soup, I'll bring you downstairs for a stroll. Orissa filled a bowl with the soup left from lunch. Mary grinned. Isa, you don't have to stay in the ward to keep me company. Go to work if you're needed there. If you are absent from work, your colleagues will be troubled. Orissa explained. Don't worry, Grandaunt. I'm not going to work today. The kids are going to get off school soon. If I were to head to work, I'd still need to leave soon to pick them up. She blew on the soup to cool it off and confirmed it wasn't hot before feeding Mary some soup. Is Benjamin at work? Mary asked after glancing around her empty ward. Yes. After Mary filled her stomach, Orissa got a wheelchair and told her to sit in it. She then covered Mary's legs with a blanket and pushed her downstairs for a stroll. Sean happened to stop by. Orissa, are you bringing Madam Mary downstairs for a walk? Yes. Orissa nodded. It isn't good for her to lie in bed all day, so I decided to bring her out for a walk. That sounds like a good idea. Let me do it. The kids will finish their classes soon, right? You should go pick the kids up. I'll bring Madam Mary downstairs for her walk. Sean took the wheelchair from her. Orissa glanced at her watch and realized it was almost time to pick the kids up. If she were to depart now, she would get to pick them up immediately after classes end and bring them here. That would save her a lot of time. Isa, go pick the kids up. Dr. Bailey is here. Mary missed the kids, too. I'll go pick them up now. Orissa nodded and bade them goodbye before leaving the ward. Chapter 849. Orissa arrived at the school just in time. Before she could get out, the bodyguard said, Mrs. Graham, wait a minute. He got out and glanced around the area to make sure no danger was lurking around before allowing her to get out. Thanks. Orissa thanked him gratefully. They are so careful, aren't they? She recalled what happened this morning and asked, has the woman been released? Yes, this morning. She just had to record a statement in the police station. Hearing that, Orissa relaxed and went to the school gate. The children were standing in a line. They were dressed in their smart school uniforms and were carrying backpacks. Orissa immediately spotted them. Gavin, Tim, Zachary, Oliver, Jasper, Jesse. This way, she exclaimed and waved her hand. Spotting her, the kids ran toward her happily. Mommy. Orissa wrapped her arms around them and ruffled their hair dotingly. After saying goodbye to their teachers, she brought them to the car. Bye, teachers. The kids bade their teachers goodbye. The teachers beamed and waved at them. Bye. See you tomorrow. Mommy, I got a sticker today. My teacher praised me. Jessie showed her sticker excitedly. Hurry. Gavin urged his siblings. Orissa chuckled and stroked her cheek. Good job, Jessie. Why did the teacher reward you with a sticker? The corners of Jess's lips curled up into an impish grin. Mommy, Jessie helped to clean up in class. She was the best, so the teacher gave her a sticker. Jasper explained. Luckily, I often told you to clean up at home, Orissa responded cheerfully. Mommy, Tim did a good job, too. But he did it slowly as he wanted to make Jessie happy. Zachary shared his observation with Orissa. Orissa gave Tim a grin. Good job, Tim. I did nothing of the sort. Tim lowered his head shyly. Squatting down to his height, Orissa held his shoulders and asked gently, I'm glad to see you showing love to your sister. Tim, tell me, did you really give way to her? Tim lowered his head and replied softly, not really. Jessie did a great job. Pleased, Orissa patted his head lovingly. Tim's lips curved. Miss York, we should go visit great-grandaunt now. Okay. Orissa gave them each a kiss before urging them into the car. Come on. Time to head to the hospital. Hurry. Gavin urged his siblings. Zachary led Oliver, Jasper, and Jessie into the car. Tim then hopped into the car, followed by Gavin. Orissa got into the car and shut the door. She made sure the kids were buckled up before telling the driver to head to the hospital. Mommy, why are you early today? Jasper asked curiously. I didn't go to work today, so I came over earlier than usual. Orissa pinched the boy's nose and got them some water. Drink some water. Thanks, Mommy. The kids passed the cup around and drank the water. Orissa gazed at them affectionately. When the cup was empty, she refilled it for them. Mommy, you should drink some water, too. Jessie reminded her. Sure. Orissa accepted the cup from her and took a few sips of water. Are you hungry? She asked. Mommy, we had a baking class this afternoon and ate a lot. We're not hungry, Oliver replied. Orissa nodded. I won't buy any snacks for you, then. We're going out for dinner tonight. The kids were surprised. We're going out for dinner. Yes. Orissa smiled. Jasper giggled and teased. Mommy, is it a candlelight dinner with Daddy? Chapter 850. The other kids burst into excited giggles. Orissa pinched his cheek. Your daddy is treating us all to dinner. Mommy, is it just us? Or will other people be there too? Gavin stared at her curiously. Mr. Watts and Mr. Bailey will be there too, came Orissa's answer. Gavin smiled from ear to ear. I can't wait for dinner. As the other kids were fine with it, Orissa brought them to the hospital straight away. Sean and Mary were still strolling downstairs. When their car arrived, he pushed Mary to the entrance. Great-grandaunt. The kids hopped off the car and ran to her. Great-grandaunt, are you feeling better today? Yes, I'm feeling so much better. Mary beamed. What did you learn in school today? The 6 children began sharing everything they had done in school that day. Orissa told Sean, Mr. Bailey, you can leave if you're busy. I can take care of them. I have nothing on, so I can play with them now. Sean's lips curled as he gazed at the children. Mary was delighted to be surrounded by the kids. Grandaunt, do you still want to stroll around the garden? Let me push you around. The weather was cool, so it was perfect for a walk. Okay, let's spend some time here. They had just come back from school, so let them play here for a while before we head up, Mary responded. She didn't want the kids to spend all their time cooped up in her ward. The kids pushed Mary's wheelchair happily as Orissa walked after them. Sean was about to catch up with them when his superior summoned him. He had no choice but to get back to work. The kids were sharing their day with the elderly woman happily. As Mary was holding her stomach as she laughed at their antics, Tim got worried and asked, "Great-grandaunt, does your tummy hurt?" "I'm fine." Mary patted his head to comfort him. "Grandaunt, don't laugh too hard," Orissa reminded her cheerfully. She told the kids, "Sweethearts, your great-grandaunt just had surgery this morning, so don't make her laugh too hard." Surprised, the children immediately showered their concern on her. Gavin asked, "Great-grandaunt, why did you get a surgery?" Zachary chimed in, "Great-grandaunt, are you unwell?" Tim seemed anxious. "Great-grandaunt, why didn't you tell me about the surgery? Do you feel better now?" Both Jasper and Oliver asked, "Great-grandaunt, are you sick again?" "Great-grandaunt, where did you get cut?" Jessie inquired. Mary flashed a smile and patted their heads. "My stomach often hurts, right? It's because I had kidney stones. I had surgery today to get rid of them so I won't have tummy aches anymore." "Does your tummy still hurt now?" Zachary asked carefully. Mary was touched by their concern. "No, it doesn't hurt anymore. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come down for a walk in the garden." Orissa bent down to pull the blanket up to cover Mary's legs. Mary shot her a smile and turned to the kids. "Go have fun. Great-grandaunt, we want to keep you company." Tim was holding Mary's hand and felt bad to see the needle mark on the back of her hand. He blew on her hand. "Great-grandaunt, there's a bruise here. I'll get you an egg later to rub over your bruise." "Sure," Mary agreed with a smile. Orissa got the water bottle and poured Mary a cup of water. She blew on it and waited for a while before giving the cup to Mary. "Grandaunt, have some water." "Okay." Mary bobbed her head. "Drink more water, great-grandaunt." Gavin beamed at her. Mary replied, "I will. You have to drink more water, too. Mommy gave us water earlier in the car ride." Jasper told her.